Hey there, and tonight on Horror Remake Theatre, hey, third name, third title, we're still working on that part.
Yeah.
What did we watch, Matt?
We watched the Toolbox Murders.
You want to show it?
Yes, I do.
It's a 2004 film directed by Tobe Hooper. It stars Angela Bettis and Juliet Landau, right?
Yeah.
And,
Oh, the back of the box reveals the twist.
does it really?
Yeah, right there.
Oh, yeah, okay. Don't look at the back of the box before you watch the movie if you own it. So we were going to watch, we looked at a few. We thought about April Fool's Day tonight. We are gonna do that one. But we wanted to see one that Matthew hadn't seen. And that would be that one there.
Yeah, I hadn't seen it. That's one
Toolbox
right
Murder. So let's bring it in. Bring it in closely. 3D. So when we come back, we're going to talk about Tobe Hooper's Toolbox Murders. How did it compare to the original? And is it a good movie on its own? Well, let's find. Hey there, and thanks for tuning in again. If you watched our last two, which were basically started with Nightmare on Elm Street, and we moved on to When a Stranger Calls. Go back to those if you want to see our thoughts on both those films. Now, here's a different one. It's Toolbox Murders by Tobe Hooper, and this one you really can't compare to the original Toolbox Murders.
At all,
It's
in
a
any way.
completely different beast. When they say go out and make your own thing, they pretty much took the title, Toolbox Murders, and made their own thing. So we're really gonna have to
I feel like probably they just had a film where they use the toolbox a lot, and they're like, is anybody using the rights to that old film name?
Nah, I don't think they actually probably thought it. Like Tobe Hooper's actually, of
No, he
course,
probably
some of the
did,
cool
but this
stuff.
this is in no way that film. It's completely different.
It's a very different film.
Like,
yeah.
oh,
We did like the original Toolbox Murders.
Yes.
Quite a lot.
original is a bait and switch.
Yeah, it's really cool. They
It
do that.
starts out as a slasher, but it reveals itself to be a weird psychological drama.
And a true story.
It's interesting.
This one, however, is not a true story. No stretch of the imagination, I don't think. Tobe Hooper does the usual kind of like casting kind of odder characters into his films and placing them in kind of a sense of kind of a weirdness, but giving them certain normalities. You got Angela Bettis, who does have that kind of like the every girl kind of plain like type of charm. Kind of a different look to her. She has an odd look
The
to her.
protagonist?
Yeah, I find her attractive, but she has a different type of attraction to her. It's not like movie star, like it's not a Katie Cassidy's type of glamorized look. No, for me the gorgeous girl in the film is Julia Landau, who of course played Drusilla on Buffy, and this movie is basically, well, I'm going to let Matthew. My voice has been coming in and out recently, so I'm going to let Matthew pretty much take over in this one a bit and tell us a bit of the movie, Matt.
All right. Well, a couple, Nell and her husband, whose name I don't remember, move into this new, really shitty apartment where we actually previously seen Sherry Moon Zombie was chilling and got murdered.
She's a shame. She was likable.
She's all right. Yeah, she's pretty likable. They of course don't know this, but they can tell that there's some spooky happenings in this apartment because there's odd symbols on the walls, and everyone there is kind of a little bit kooky, including their their slimy but comic relief landlord, the doorman, who's I can't really describe as anything but the doorman.
Yep.
And the mysterious hairs in his face all the time. Red, like I think his name's Ned. He's the handyman.
And the red herring in the film.
Yeah, he's the red herring. But they're living there, and they're chilling, and it's established pretty early on that scenes will be made, like people, like it's in the middle of Hollywood, so people are like doing their lines, so there'll be screams that aren't real going on, everyone's kind of strange. So Nell's having a kind of a hard time moving in there.
She got a couple of neighbors close by. We find out right away that one neighbor is kind of into rough sex, and she got kind of a punkish type boyfriend. We find out there another neighbor, Julie Landau, which we don't really learn a lot about first, but we know that Ned has a crush on her, and that she used to be like 57 pounds heavier than she is, and now she looks like the amazing Julie Landau. We also find out that there is a teenager next door that has somehow managed to actually sneak a camera into Julie Landau's apartment, and he's actually spying on her. But you know what? At no point does the teenage. It seems like a really creepy thing, but for some reason the teenager just seems like hijinks. He never seems really like he's a dangerous character.
Yeah, no.
He comes off kind of like maybe like the guy. What's his face? The guy played Lex Luthor. Except not like, but when he was Mark Zuckerberg, that type of thing.
I don't even know if he comes off like that. He just comes off as like your typical
horny teenager.
Yeah. There's also a mysterious but kind old man who's living in the house.
Who we'll learn more about later.
Yes. As time goes on, Nell starts to suspect some stuff is happening in the house, or in the apartment, reasonably, because people are dying. Sometimes unreasonably, though, like the Juliet Landau scene, where her character, whose name is Juliet, I think her name is actually her name. I forget which one, what her name is actually. It's something similar to her actual name, but she meets her one day, and they're supposed to meet up the next day, and she goes missing, and our protagonist has a freaking fit, completely loses it, tries to get people there, starts banging on the walls, calls her husband, and is like, you gotta come back now from your very important being a doctor job.
And she's already freaked out at the beginning of the film, where people were actually kind of auditioning for a scene, and she's like, oh my god, somebody's getting killed there, but it was just people auditioning for a scene, and the cops know pretty early on that she's going to be trouble.
And then she freaks out again at a time where it is viable, but still I should note that I don't actually her character annoys me a little bit, but whatever. She goes looking into things after she receives a mysterious message from the old man saying that she'll find her friend. I don't know, what was her character's name?
Julia. That's what I went for.
Julia, okay. To look for her friend in room 504. She goes to look for room 504 and finds out that there's a room 503, a room 502, a room 505, and a room 506, but there's no room 504. She then goes down and realizes that there's no room 04 on any floor.
Why is that?
Well, she goes to track down the schematics of the apartment and finds out that, one, there's an entire hidden townhouse area inside the building by taking bits of each room, and two, the guy who made the apartment building was super into the occult and cults and was big on the idea of combining science and
runestone
mysticisms.
Yeah, use runes.
Using runes and stuff, and that's what the signs on the walls are. She eventually goes to find out how to get into this townhouse, as there's no real entranceway. She finds a way in on the roof, and then she gets to the lair of the bad guy, who's named Coffin Baby, by the way.
Sort of. Yeah. It's not kind of a nickname, but we don't really...
It's what he's named in the credits, too.
Is it?
Yeah. And then... This is a part where, it kind of gets to me. We find out who the killer is, Coffin Baby, as he takes off his mask, and you find out he's a monster, just a gross monster, and he brutally dispatches of the red herring Ned, by the way. Really good, violent effects in this film.
Yeah, there's some great death scenes in this film, actually.
And then, as our characters are picked off one by one now, trying to save Nell, we find out from the old man, who reappears again, and is like, oh, he'll know that I told you, because he knew about Coffin Baby, that Coffin Baby was a baby who was born in his dead mom's womb and clawed his way out of like her and cried in the coffin.
Yeah, pretty much just as they were burying her mother's body, he was like pretty much climbing his way to the mom, and they could hear him screaming in the mother's womb, and got him out. They plucked him from her dead carcass.
Yeah.
Just before she was buried.
I don't know what that has to do with anything or what it means.
I don't mean either, actually.
And that's where this film kind of like really pisses me off.
Strays is a good way to say. Do you want to talk about the cons first, the pros this time?
Yeah, sure. Because we didn't have any pros for the last like movie.
Yes, we did. It's called Katie Cassidy.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, that's fine.
Effect. My
cons. One, as I said before, I don't like the protagonist very much. She's just really whiny. Yeah, you do, but I found like she was really whiny, and like she came off as kind of a bitch in a lot of scenarios. Even you at the very beginning were like, wow, she's gonna be kind of bitchy, but she keeps that tone throughout the rest of the film. There's one like humanizing scene about her dad dying. It's a really good scene, but I didn't come out of it actually liking her at all. I came out of it saying, wow, I really wish the Julia character was the main character, because she's really nice.
But see, I think that I kind of feel like a little bit the opposite direction. I think that
I would have done with Shaman Zombie, who was also a cool, nice character.
Oh yeah, Shaman Zombie's kind of hot too. So.
Yeah.
She played Misty. Was it Misty Rain or something like that?
Yeah, she played Misty Rain. What an awesome name.
I like that name.
Anyways.
Daisy Rain. Because I remember. It's kind of like
Daisy Rain.
I gotta say, on her character, on Angela Bettis, I think that actually we could have seen like it's hard because the way they were playing the character, they were playing up the paranoia aspect of the character, and this would work if this wasn't kind of like a slashery splatter film, because we have to see the kills in this one. The kills are pretty bloody and they're pretty brutal, and for this type of movie that really works. But the tone comes off a bit for me because her character, she's a great actress, but her character's coming off like, hey, is she paranoid? Now, if we hadn't seen the stuff, I could see, okay, maybe she's, the place is just getting to her. And this could have been a great psychological thriller in that way.
Yeah.
If she played it like that. But I think I don't think that was her fault. I think basically that was the direction that her character was to take. Tobe Hooper likes to have like these characters that are really like stressing. Marilyn Burns in Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Marilyn Burns in Eating Alive.
Marilyn Burns, the woman herself.
No, I love Marilyn Burns. But she does a good job though. She's not like last night we watched a movie where the protagonist was completely unlikable.
Yeah.
Like she was not likable. She was like self-centered. She was, and I know that some would say, well, teenagers. No, all teenagers are not.
They didn't, but like that film didn't do anything to make me like her at all. Like the other film didn't do anything. This film just, I don't know. She just came across as like too, especially when she's calling her husband. I'm like, Jesus, like.
Yeah, he's working and she's calling him because her friend didn't show up for a running date. That was kind of weird. There was 1 week sequence for me that I found actually really didn't work for me. That really didn't work for me.
Yeah. And
it's the one kind of really, really out of place, doesn't make sense, really lame jump scare. And they only do one in this movie.
That scene is, if you've seen like Batman v Superman, that's like the weird dark side scene. Like,
yeah, it's very
like
she goes
just
over,
edited in out of nowhere, and it makes no sense. And
she goes over.
It makes sense.
You keep talking.
I'm sorry. It makes sense later, though. I know why it happens, but it doesn't make sense in the editing.
I know, that's the thing. It's like when we see it, we just see her like there's some like sloppy ending in this film. Well, I'm not going to lie on that one. She goes to sleep.
The worst part, though.
And she and basically, for me, this is like the lamest part. And she sees she's walking into church and she sees her father's in a coffin, and he like grabs her arm like that. But it's kind of done kind of slow, and it's not really a jump scare. It's meant to be a jump scare, I think, but it's especially for Tobe Hooper, this is kind of sloppy.
It doesn't even make sense. The whole scene doesn't make sense until later when it's explained, and even then, like, you say she goes to sleep, but there's no, like, indication of her going to sleep. She's just sitting there, and it cuts to the other scene.
Well, I assume she's going to sleep.
Yeah, I guess she's going to sleep. She doesn't have any reaction to it. We don't
said,
see her wake up either.
She's somewhere else in a thing. I guess she's sleeping or something.
I guess. We don't see her wake up either. And as for the jump scare part of it, you don't see him, like, raise his hand and look at her. It weirdly cuts to his hand on her.
That's it? No,
there's, like, a cut. Like, I'm pretty sure there's a solid cut of him just grabbing her hand. It's a really out-of-place scene.
The editing in places on this film seems kind of sloppy. It was kind of low budget. And I think that if you would have been given more time and a better budget, you probably would have had a tighter, better edited film. But there are places where the editing just doesn't work. But for me overall, I really hate like bad jump scares.
Bad jump scares are bad.
They really take you out of the movie, and this one really took you out of the movie. At this point, you're okay. This is a movie. You're not thinking, okay. You're not watching. You're not investing. At this point, you're like, this is a movie again. It's going to take me a while to get back into it again.
Yeah.
And that was my biggest con of the whole film, was the editing, in some aspects of it.
My biggest con, which I haven't even mentioned yet, is Coffin Baby.
I like Coffin Baby.
No, here's the thing. Coffin Baby is set up fairly well. Like, this movie is a weird slasher, and you've got the girl who's acting like it's a thriller, which makes it really annoying.
It's tonally.
But we've also got the mystery aspect of it. As she's looking, the first thing she does is, like, when we see her in the film, is look at the thing. She's like, "What are those?" She goes to someone to talk about it, and she learns that the guy who made it was involved with cults. Then she like draws the things on her arm to, like, remember them, to help her with the thing.
Yeah.
She goes down. We learn about Coffin Babies being a coffin baby.
That's all we learn about.
That's all we learn.
We don't know
and
its
at
name.
one point she yells, "The building is a spell. It's a spell, the building." And then later on, Coffin Baby, after he, like Resident Evil 3 Nemesis is through a window, after he's
I like that scene.
Well, it's cool, but, like, the moment I saw it, I couldn't help.
Darkman. You thought Resident Evil 3, nothing like Darkman.
I couldn't help but laugh because I thought about the scene in Resident Evil 3 in the police precinct where he jumps in through the window and you have to fight him again.
You mean
and, like, yeah, he just immediately, like, I don't even know where he was hanging out because, like, there's no balconies on the rooms. He just suddenly, and she's on the 3rd or 4th floor.
Yeah.
She's at the 3rd, 4th, I think it's the 4th floor, maybe 3rd floor. And he just, like, it's the 3rd floor. He just smashes in through and he's like, yeah! And, like, fights her. And then she does this.
And the runes,
the runes stop him.
Someone's around there. Kind of like, this does a whole Halloween 6. The rune symbols stop him. And then the cops, like, burst in the door and shoot him.
And
he gets hung out the window. And then he disappears. And I literally caught it, didn't I? I was like,
yeah, you were, like, saying he's not out there. And I was like, yeah, I know.
He's like, yeah.
It's like, what do you mean he's not out there?
Yeah, cause, like,
you're just doing the lines.
The guy was like, he's dead. And, like, it's like, he's not out there. What do you mean he's not out there? He's got to be out there.
Yeah, and then they immediately looked out.
And that's exactly what happens. They don't say those words, but I said them before.
But because what happens?
The movie just like
it ends with, like, a kind of a weird face of, what is he? There's so much mystery and build-up. What is he? You didn't explain him at all. Why did they build a building about him? If the building was, like, there's runes on it, and I think it's somewhat implied that he needs the runes and the building and death to survive, but then why do they block him away?
Maybe it's
if they're in the building and they're holding him in the apartment thing, if that's what they're supposed to do, then how can he get out and kill people?
You had to make a lot of assumptions in this film. You had to assume that the runes done in the way that she has them done blocks them, as opposed to the runes the way they're done in the apartment actually helps keep him alive.
So it's just a coincidence? Because the moment this movie was over, I wanted to go get, like, a cookie. But I was like, I can't go get a cookie yet, because I've got to check Wikipedia to see if I missed something about what Coffin Baby is.
Maybe we need to see the second one. Maybe it's more.
Yeah, we need to see the second one.
If
they had more budget and, like, more time, maybe they'd be able to do a better film. What if they had more time but less budget, Dad? What about that? That's Coffin Baby, or Toolbox Murders 2.
I gotta see that movie. We're gonna watch it.
It looks really bad.
I know. We're gonna watch it.
It doesn't even fit into this segment. But I don't know. Like, This isn't a character who, like, the mystique is what makes him. The whole film is about trying to solve this mystery, and we don't solve it. I'm very curious as to what the point is. And apparently, you're right, it may be mentioned in 2, because they do talk about something about souls and breaking leases and whatever. But this film is where that needed to be answered. Is this going to be a big mystery in this film?
Yeah, because it wasn't
Answer
like
it
this.
in this film. I want to know what the point of Coffin Baby was. I want to know why they built an entire, like,
There's a
building
difference
for it.
in explaining a character to death and just giving the basics of like what the character is. You did in the original John Carpenter's Halloween. We don't need to know why Michael Myers does what he does. We just know that he's creepy and scary, and we get enough background to like actually. So he was in an asylum. He gets out. He kills people around the age of his sister.
That's all
that
you
makes
need to
sense.
know.
But in this one here, it's like it's building up to something that really doesn't deliver on. Now, with that being said, we said the cons. Let's go with the pros.
Okay, yeah, so that sounds fine.
I'll start with my pros on that, and you and yours.
Sure.
The cast is really good. I don't think there was a bad performance for me in the film itself. Everybody seemed to do like a really good job for what they had to do. Even like the small roles. They had a lot of really kind of quirky characters that I really did like in there. Angela Bettis over Matthew didn't like her a lot, but I thought she did a cool, quirky job. I loved Angela Bettis for years now. You know, Lucky McKee's May. I love that. Which you really have to see. Juliet Landau, of course, is fantastic in it. And the girl, don't know the name of the girl next door. I gotta find out because
Her character name?
yeah, oh no,
Or
no,
her actor name?
the
Because
actress.
her character name was Saffron.
Saffron.
Or
Okay,
Saffron.
so Saffron, I think it was.
Yeah, Saffron.
Who's that?
Saffron Kirby.
Saffron Kirby is played by Sarah Downing, and she's actually really freaking cute. And yeah, and I liked her a lot. She only had a small part in it. Some of the characters, actually, the characterization stuff that was done, kind of left me kind of wanting to know more about this kind of like quirky building and filled with people. The kills were really well done. It was extremely brutal, and the mask was very much a throwback, and the only real throwback. Mask and the tools were the only real throwback to the original film. But it was a good throwback to the original film. It wasn't something that was bad or seemed out of place. It really made sense for what we're following through. Her journey to find the killer and find exactly what's going on, the whole paranoia aspect of it, it's, as much as it was tonally shifted and kind of awkward, I enjoyed it. There wasn't a part in this movie where I like my tea, guys, but I didn't go up to get a cup of tea during the entirety of this film. We sat down and we watched it. I got a call from my better half who's in Corner Book, and I'm like, Matt, did you pause the movie type thing? Because I actually wanted to know what was going to happen. I didn't want to miss any of it. It was one of those that I was frustrated when I was finished because I wanted to know more. But the movie overall, it didn't deliver on its promise of learning more. But as a movie called Toolbox Murders, with the cast that it had, it definitely delivered on the kills. The kills were fantastic. I liked the makeup effects in the film. I really liked the cast, and this is what I really like. This is what really I loved in this film, and I wish more movies would do this. The characters play true to life. There's none of when the kid gets the backup drive and he finds out that the girl was killed. There's no like disbelief, or there's no like nobody, or there's no like shooing off the kid type of thing. The husband comes there and he's wondering why the kid's like kind of banging on the door and all this stuff's been going on. Like, what's going on? He said, no, she's been right about it. You know, the girl's been killed. Instead of like in normal movies, like, you know, the kid would be like kind of shoot off. Nobody would believe him, and then he'd have to go and do something, and he'd have to find some way. But no, he takes them in right away. They go and they look at the video. They see it. He notices her the map that she's got out there. All of them work together. The doorman, the landlord, which we thought was kind of semi-sleazy, but in such a humorous way that you can't not like the landlord. He is a likable character. They all work together, and they find stuff. They're not stupid characters. One of the complaints about a lot of horror movies is people do stupid things. People run the wrong way. People don't figure things out. People figure things out in this film. She starts to notice things right away. not everybody does around her because those people are off doing other things. There's reasons for them not to figure it out. There's reasons for the husband not to completely figure out what his wife is figuring out. But when it comes to him, he does. The landlord doesn't go and kind of like shift it off. The doorman doesn't shift it off. They do what they have to do. The landlord has this kind of like cowardly want to go back scene, but he doesn't go back. He does go with them, and the character, and that's what really impressed me with this film, is that the characters play true. They don't dumb it down for you in order to create like some kind of false sense of suspense to keep her like there longer, or to have her torture, to be like a final girl. Like, when we were watching this movie, Matt said, it's kind of nice to see that it's not just the final girl, and it actually was really nice to see that.
Yeah.
Those are my pros. Your turn.
I mean, for me, I guess, trying to hit like a point that you didn't already like just go through entirely, because you liked the film more than I did. So
that's obvious.
Yeah, I thought it was a fine film.
We'll get to that part. Get that part after.
Oh,
yeah, we'll get to it.
I have a thing for like spooky apartment building with like mysteries going on movies. So that element that I really liked. The frustration at the not really revealing everything, but I do like the moment that like they started to show like that those elements. I was like, well, this could be interesting.
Yeah, you really didn't want to watch this going in. You were like,
yeah. I liked Sherry Moon Zombie in something for like once. Like Sherry Moon Zombie was in a movie that I enjoyed, and that's shocking. And she seemed like she would have been really good as the protagonist. So did what's her name from
Yolanda?
Yeah, that one. Both were really awesome characters that I enjoyed. I like the fact that that it was like we did have a comedy relief character, because it's kind of been something that's missing in the last like couple films we've watched. The last little like nice few films we've watched. There's been no like lightning character.
And When a Stranger Calls, literally, I hate to have to go back to this again. Katie Cassidy has this kind of like one sort of like fun scene, and then it's like all the fun is sucked out of that film when she's killed off.
I liked the Nightmare on Elm Street remake, and
that didn't have a lot of that was pretty dark.
That was played pretty like serious and dark. Like the character of Quentin has a couple like one or two lines where I chuckled.
Yeah, but still.
But it wasn't like he wasn't like straight played for laughs. It wasn't like, because I like even near the end, like when like they're about to confront the killer, he was like, "Oh my God, what is this?" And I couldn't help but like quote like, "It's part of the part of the building's charm." What he said earlier, it's.
And he has one of the most cool death lines ever.
Oh yeah. When
he's big, what is it?
It's like this big wire cutters, yeah, and they're like it's put him through his spine.
Yeah.
And he's like just like going around like in pain, going ah, and then he's suddenly like, "Just kill me."
It's just really well. That was a really cool sequence. So,
yeah.
Overall, Matt, what do you think of the Toolbox Murders?
It was okay. Like, it's definitely worth a watch. There's like parts of it that like I'm frustrated even more so now that I might have to watch 2 to get answers, and 2 looks just garbage. We watched the trailer before I went to go get like food, and oh man, it just looks like trash. Like, holy crap!
Well, the acting looks bad. I mean, like
the acting,
like
the effects look like they're back. Like they're still The effects look worse, but it still looked gruesome.
This one's gruesome at gruesome sequences, and they made sense for what it was.
Actually, yeah,
I haven't seen part 2, but part 2 looks torture pornish.
Yeah, like there's a part where like they're cutting off the skin of her leg. There's one part where the girl's eating like roaches, and you see like a girl. It looks like you saw the entire film in the trailer, because I thought I saw the main character without her eye at one point in the trailer, jumping at like running into the guy and falling off a building and dying. And I was like, do we have to watch it now? But it looks bad. But I like the vibe. It's the fact that it's basically like 3 different films: a thriller, a supernatural horror, and a slasher. Kind of mixes weirdly.
This is definitely a fun watch. I would recommend it. If you can find this one for like a decent price, I do recommend picking it up. There actually has a commentary with director Tobe Hooper and the writers of the film, so that'll be pretty cool. Actually, one of the writers, what's his name? Adam. I'm gonna get this wrong. Girash plays Ned, and he does a really good job.
Yeah.
Is one of the
Ned's death is pretty gruesome.
Yeah, and I like Ned too, and that was a cool character.
Yeah.
It's a fun film. I mean, like
it's definitely worth a watch.
It doesn't like reinvent like anything too much. It's a fun thriller. It's like something cool to throw on in the middle of the night. Some good splatter in it. The girls are cute. No breasts in this one. No nudity.
No.
Expectation score there. No nudity in this one, but some very attractive females. And the gore definitely is a big plus. Toolbox Murders for me, yeah, this one gets the seal of approval for as a remake this time around.
I mean, I think it's a good movie, and you should give it a watch.
Did you give it the seal of approval?
Well, I feel like that's a way too like a far too generalized scoring system.
What do you want?
Just I guess. I'll give you a half thumbs up. I'll say, yeah, it's definitely worth a watch. It'll be fun. You'll enjoy it. I wouldn't say like it's definitely not like stunning. There's no reason to compare it to the original. You don't need to see the original. You don't even need to know that there was an original for this.
Definitely true.
Just have a fun time watching it. If you're like, hey, I want to watch some early 2000s horror, like See No Evil, starting to get on your Hatchet level stuff, but like not nearly as good as Hatchet.
Yeah.
Just watch this.
Check it out, Toolbox Murders. Fun watch. Doesn't reinvent the wheel, but a very cool film. I am Aaron. I am the movie professor, and for me right now, my voice is going again. So it seriously is time for tea.
My stingers, sometimes they're not the greatest, but they're really the charm. The charm of this video, It's part of the video, and you're a part of that, too.
All right.
Press the button.
So, thank you for coming to our after credit party.
Yes.
If you've been watching these here, we're having a lot of fun doing these. And if you're liking them, if you can join them, or whether you agree or disagree, but just having fun watching them, please, we would do appreciate it if you would like it, share it. If you would really share it, that'd be awesome. And sub if you're not subbed, because just look at this face. Look at that face. Sadness.
Whatever. Take the URL, write it down on your parchment, and mail it to your friends. Mail it to everyone you know. Alright, so, quick, just like shift of pace.
We got
There's like a lot of remakes
to get through.
I'm very curious as to when we're doing the next big one.
Do you want to get into the Friday 13th stuff?
I do, because I do have, I've seen that more recently than you have, I believe.
Yeah, more than likely. We'll definitely watch the extended cut of that one.
Yeah. Also, there's Texas Chainsaw Massacre, we're saving Black Christmas for around Christmas time.
Black Christmas and Silent Night are the two that we're going to save for around Christmas time.
Yeah.
I have a lot of thoughts on those films, and I'm going to have a lot of fun watching both of those. For different reasons. Also,
I'm desperately trying to avoid shit like April Fool's Day, but it's there. It's very much there.
You gotta watch it.
Prom Night, I'm just lukewarm about watching.
I like Jonathan Shay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Dude, Jonah Hex, man.
Yeah. There's some like that.
There's some great. There's some where they're more exciting now. The one that he's dreading the most. I'm going to tell you guys this. I have the Children of the Corn remake.
I hated Children of the Corn.
He hated Children of the Corn. He's really dreading watching Children of the Corn. I am looking forward to his dread.
It's so...
but I figured that one. Maybe that one would be the one that me and you went.
And, yeah.
To watch.
Yeah. I don't...
The three of us. Or am I gonna be that evil?
I
No,
don't-
maybe I'll make you. Maybe we'll watch that one tomorrow.
I don't want to. Oh, it's bad. I don't like the original Children of the Corn.
Well, we
So
don't.
how
You
am I
haven't seen.
supposed to like?
You this
the
will may.
remake?
Well, this may have like certain scenes or characters.
This isn't like a Toolbox Murders sort of case where it's like a different film. You know, it's gonna be. It's like it's gonna be the same goddamn thing.
But they might have some like attractive females in there.
I don't care about that.
And
That's your thing. My thing is.
your thing is okay.
Is
Okay, then there might have some attractive
No.
males in there.
What I mean is, I'm like, I want a deeper thingy, but I hate Joan of the Corn. It's bad.
Actually, I think you would like the others. The come some sequels you actually have.
Well, to be honest, I won't lie. When you showed me the trailer for 3, like Urban Harvest,
yeah, it's kind of.
I was like, that looks insanely funny.
yeah, it is.
Like, do you know how fine this corn is? This corn is gonna make you rich.
You should see the demon part too.
Oh God.
There's this like demon and he like possesses this dude and he runs over a guy in a shredder.
Really?
It's really cool.
There's like a lot of like random stuff happening in the trailer for 3. Like at one point, like I think the kid shoots lightning and then a demon scarecrow is attacking someone.
Oh,
They set someone on fire.
Part 5 is an out-and-out slasher film with a really good cast actually.
That's weird. That is weird.
It's just.
I think I've seen 6.
Which one is 6 again?
I think it's,
Jake Returns.
yeah, I think I've seen. Was that one set in like a apartment building?
That's the worst one, actually. That's where the little kid from the first one
Yeah.
returns.
Is that the one set in the apartment building?
Oh, there's a couple set in part building.
Okay.
But I think that's what you're talking about. Yeah.
Because I remember seeing it when I was young. We rented it from like a video store.
Because
It's
we
no
rented
longer
everything back then.
Yeah, it was like it's a video store that's no longer around back in like.
You mean
early 70s.
every video store? Right?
Yeah, well, yes, but like it was like a tiny one.
Something like that. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. For me right now, as you can tell, my voice is almost gone. It truly is time for tea.
Man, there wasn't a lot of stingers for this one. It's a spell. The build. Shut. Now be quiet. Shut up. It's the build.